What is shaking, crew? Today we are going to break down some of the most useful things that you can learn as a lead guitarist. Now I want to go over the 5 major pentatonic box patterns. I'm going to show you what they are and why they sound pretty dang good and how to connect them all over the neck so you can start soloing with some confidence. We're going to be using the key of A major for today's examples, but once you know these shapes, they will work in any key. You just need to move them up and down the neck depending on what key you're in. Now, before we get into the box patterns, let's quickly look at what the major pentatonic scale actually is. The regular major scale has 7 notes. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is your octave. So the major pentatonic just takes 5 of those notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, back to your octave. So that means we skip the 4th and 7th note from that major scale, which are the tension notes that can lead to a little bit of an unstable sound. So now without them, the pentatonic scale will sound very smooth, melodic, and it's really easy to solo with. That's why it's used in a lot of music, country, blues, rock. Pretty much all the commercial music will use pentatonic scales. So now with the understanding of where the pentatonic scale comes from, let's move right into the first box position. And this is the most common one for your major scale pattern. This is going to be your home base pattern, or pattern 1 as I call it. And we're going to use this in the A major key. So let's start with the very first pattern. So pattern 1 will start with the root note, with this A note right here on the 5th fret. So I'll play through the major pattern and then we'll talk about it so you can kind of see how it's played, and I'll put a box up on the screen too as well. We're starting on this A note on the low E string on the 5th fret. Here's how this scale is played. We got the 5th fret, this A note of the low E. We're going to this B note on the 7th fret of the low E. Then we're going up to string A to the 4th fret, that's C sharp. And then to the 7th fret, that E note. And then we have an F sharp, that 4th fret of the D string. And then we're back to the A note, which is the 7th fret. So then that pattern is going to repeat itself. So it's 5, 7, 4, 7, 4, 7, 4, 6, 5, 7, 5, 7. Next up is box 2. This one connects directly above box 1. You'll notice it starts on the same 7th fret as where box 1 ended. And this is how the boxes are all going to start to link together. It's just ascending the notes on that very first string. So for example, box 2 is going to sound like this. So now we're starting on that B note. And it's the same notes that we're playing, it's just played in a different box pattern. So let's work our way up on the E string, starting on the 7th fret now in that box position. So it's 7, 9, 7, 9 on the A, 7, 9 on the D, we have 6, 9 on the G, then we have 7, 10 on the B string, and then on the high E, we have 7, 9. And again, all those same notes that we played in the very first box position are still played in this position too. It's all the same notes. We're just starting on the B note here. Now you guessed it, the same thing will start with the box 3 position. We're going to start where box 2 is left off here. So we played that 7, 9, right? Well, now we're going to play 9, 12. So the box 3 position is going to look like this. We're starting on that low E again. So it's 9, 12, 9, 12 on the A. We have 9, 11 on the D, 9, 11 on the G. We have 10, 12 now on the B, and then we have 9, 12 on the high E. Now starting on box 4, that 12th fret, it sits right over the octave of our starting note, the 12th fret on the A. So it feels open and kind of has this upper neck sound here. So we have this. So all we're doing here is 12th fret again. On the low E, we have 12, 14, going to the A string, 12, 14, 11, 14 on the D, 11, 14 on the G, 12, 14 on the B string, and then 12, 14 on the E string. And now finally, box 5. This one sits below box 1 and connects the whole system back around. And this is the super handy lick box for linking these low to mid-range licks here. So this one's gonna look like this. So it's 14, 17, 14, 16, 14, 16, 14, 16, 14, 17, 14, 17. Now that's all 5, and that links us back to that major pattern way up at the top here. And now a good thing to note is the exact same shapes work for the minor pentatonic scales. So if you move them 3 frets down, right, you're in F sharp minor, which is also a major pentatonic. Once you start to commit these patterns to memory, that's when the real magic can start to happen for you, because now you can start connecting these boxes instead of just staying stuck in one position. By knowing these boxes, you can link patterns and move fluidly across the neck, and that's a lot of the pro players start to use that to make their solos and phrasing sound kind of effortless, right? They might throw in some passing tones, but at least they know the scale boxes are going to be soloing in and out of. So for example, let me just show you a couple different patterns that you could use now between the 2 boxes to kind of make it sound like a actual, like you're going to use a phrase or a lick in a solo, right? So for example, you could play in this 2nd box position and go into the 3rd box position. Or we could play out of that minor shape pattern, that 5th box, and go into the 1st box. Now let's start on the very first box and work through 3 different boxes. Why are these shapes useful, and why should you master these pentatonic box shapes? The main reason is because they are movable. Once you know the shapes, again, they will work in every key. They make it a lot easier to visualize the notes and kind of the notes that you're trying to target in a solo. Because there's no 4th or that 7th, everything starts to sound really sweet over any major chords that you use these patterns on. And again, they are just the building blocks of melodic phrasing and improvising. So don't feel like you're shackled with this stuff. You just need to commit it to memory, because there's things like the blues scale, which uses the blue note, right? It's that. All that is just throwing another passing tone in there, and you can use chromatic licks and all that stuff. Music is an open book. You can really just play outside of the box, but you need to know where the box starts to really kind of indulge in anything else for passing tones. You can do chromatic passes, you can do all sorts of stuff, but you need to know where home base is so you can bring yourself back to your phrasing. So take 1 box a day, practice it up and down the neck, and then start connecting them 2 at a time. Don't get too crazy at first, just try to commit it to memory. And before long, you'll be able to solo anywhere on the neck, and you'll feel a lot more confident doing so. So I'm gonna stop it there. You guys gotta get to learning this stuff. And if you feel like this helped you out, hit like, subscribe, and check out some of my other lessons. And I'm gonna keep putting some melodic phrasing and solo stuff coming up next here, and some more tunes that I'll be teaching you guys how to play. So again, until next time, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next lesson.